early voting here in the state of Texas begins tomorrow for the March 3rd primary. And in studio with us right now, one of the candidates for Lubbock County Commissioner in the race for Precinct 1 in the Republican primary, Major Garza. Welcome back to the show. How are you?
Thank you so very much. Glad to be here.
Yeah, that's great to have you back here. Second time here on the program to talk about your campaign. How has the campaign been going?
It is going well. As I was showing you, I'm carrying my DD-214, with my service record, but some clown who's supporting, I'm sorry to be so upfront, supporting Leanne, running her campaign, and has been on this show before, accused me of being a fake soldier, stolen valor. So I got my DD-214, I got my military ID card, and I hope to put that under wraps. And if you go to LCAD and you look at my property, I'm a disabled veteran, so he's not attacking me. I think he's attacking all veterans. He might say that he didn't mean to.
Hang on. Okay. There have been a lot of people who have asked questions.
Yeah. That wasn't a question. That was a statement that he made.
Because hang on. You've run before and you've gone by your first name when you've run. And you're
Garza. Yeah. Initials.
You're running now as Major Garza. And a lot of people, in fact, I've had a couple of people who have texted in this morning, and they wanted to know, are you a major?
I'm a field grade officer. Yes.
Or is this a nickname?
Yeah. So it's both, because everybody's, for the last couple of years, I've been mobilized. I was mobilized supporting basic training, and then I mobilized at Fort Hood to send troops, to the places that I went to, Syria, Afghanistan, Iraq. Egypt, and then other places that we don't talk about. But I mean, you still need to send. So for the last couple of years, everybody, hey, Major. Nobody, says my full name. They just don't do it in the military.
But so you did obtain the rank of major.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. For several years now. So that was a problem but he knows he can't pull my record for him to say that, oh, we're pulling his record, but we won't know until after the election. That's bull. He can't pull my record, but I've got it right here and I showed it to you.
All right.
And it does say, so let's knock that out of, that is, I'm a field grade and I served like that in combat, which is a great distinction and a great honor, because not that many people will make it past captain, So for a farm boy, I guess, from West Texas to make it that far. And again, so last week, I think ended January the 20th, they said, hey, we're looking at you for promotion. So, the FBI has to look at our backgrounds to make sure we can hold the top secret or secret clearance. And that's all passed. That's all good. So my record is impeccable, and I just found it so offensive that he would question my integrity and say, "Oh yeah, he's not that." So it's a sad day in our campaign season that he's going to attack my military service record. Honorable. I've got it right here, section number 24. Character of service, honorable. Come on, man, don't do that.
All right, let's talk about the issues in the campaign. What are the top 3 issues why you want to be Lubbock County Commissioner?
The 3 things that I've got written is basically taxes, so we got to protect the people that pay them. That's us. We're all paying taxes. We're all paying, I think, a lot of taxes, and we don't mind paying taxes because our government doesn't survive without them. And you pay all the judges, you pay all the services that we're getting that we may not know our county level, and you're also paying at the city, and then you're also paying federal taxes, through other systems. But so we don't mind paying taxes. Let's take care of the people. A lot, if we talk about crime, it's increasing, and we'll talk about gangs or whatever. I don't hang out with gangs. I've never seen a gang, but I know they're out there and they're selling, illegal and probably creating more crime than we need to. Our jails are overfilling, but it's not just all that, drug related. It's other stuff. We got people do bad stuff. So that's costing us money. So let's protect the taxpayer, and then let's protect that money that we're paying into. Make sure it's spent. And then the stuff that we bought. For example, we're talking about that expo center. We're talking about, if we're going to need new equipment for the county or new vehicles for the sheriff and all that stuff. Let's make sure we protect, new computer systems with the new voting equipment that we bought. I don't want a Monday morning quarterback, but a couple of years ago, we were talking about elections being hacked. So I can't blame the folks who spent money on election systems if we're never going to have for the next foreseeable elections, next 4, 5, 10 years, that we're not going to have Lubbock elections were hacked or my vote didn't count. If we're not going to have that issue, then it's a good expense because we want fair elections. And the last thing, is all these people that are working for the county, are they working diligently? Are they happy? I don't want to talk about raises for the county, but, who is hurting throughout? I know the hospital isn't because they have their own little, if you look at your taxes, their own line item. But everybody else, how are they doing? I just think that we need to take care of the folks that are in the county, but also need to make sure that they are taking care of the equipment that we're buying for them. It needs to be like that symbiotic relationship. They need to care that they're working for the taxpayer. And I know they do, but I just have to reiterate that.
I know you brought up, when you were talking about taxes, you also brought up crime and what was going on in the county. Have you had conversations with Sheriff Rowe about what his department needs, what the sheriff's department needs moving forward? I
reached out to another candidate and I picked his brain because all the candidates don't need to talk to the sheriff and waste his time. I mean, I know he did a presentation, but most of that information he's already been talking about it, And so I picked his brain. He spent an hour, I want to say an hour and 30 minutes. Kelly Rowe, I think, may have given him. I'd spoken to Bill McKay. He's a current outgoing commissioner, and tried to pick his brain to get data on what's going on. And I know the jail is a problem. So I don't know if the state can help us out with that. I don't know if the federal government can help us out with that. But there's got to be some conversations, where we don't stick because I'd hate to say it, but the people that are in jails, they have loved ones here, and if we're shipping folks, to other places, what are their loved ones, having to travel or having to miss their, because of something stupid that they did, the person committing the crime, and now they're suffering. So, there's a lose-lose there, because they're taxpayers as well. Do we just say, your loved one committed a crime and we sent them away and you don't get to see them or visit them or whatever, that's kind of hard.
Have you been able to look through any of the budget, see any places that need to be cut, or have you not been able to go through
I've got the budget right here and I looked at the major numbers. My only concern is, that it's a big deal when we raise taxes, and everybody's saying, well, we didn't raise taxes, and I that's true. But when you look at the numbers that, they raised $2 million here on the 3.25, and then they raised $1.7 million on the other one, it's an increase, you could call it whatever you want to. So the county took $3 million. That's great. Now let's make sure that money goes to where it needs to be and spent wisely, So my job, I don't want to tell the departments, all the departments, there's like 4,000 county employees, all of them work for a certain department. Or are you just going to tell them, hey, let me look at your books? You think Kelly Rowe is going to say, oh yeah, here's my books, tell me what I need to cut. I'm sure he would be, he's the first guy who's going to stand up. Yeah. I won't do this. I won't do that. I won't that. And we'll lower that's not going to happen. You can go to the hospital too and say, well, what are we paying for, this or that, your medical equipment, you think they're going to say, yeah, here, cut our budget,
What do you think needs to be done with the Lubbock ME's office?
So if we go back, what started all this, the medical examiner retired, who was doing most of the work. And then we had to fix that. What do we do? So we hired some folks and then it got out of control. Now we have somebody who doesn't perform autopsy. So you ship. So that's at a cost. So what are you going to do? Do you tell him he better do the current ME? Do you tell him he better do autopsies? Do you train him to do autopsies? Do you pay? I mean, where we're at, and we have to see this through. I'm sure at some point he's going to retire. So what is the county going to do next time? So I say, if I'm going to be there, then we need to fix that problem, fix that loophole that we don't have.
Well, what would you like to see happen? Because right now autopsies are going up to Tarrant County. We had Commissioner Chad Hasty in last week. He said it's been great that death certificates and autopsies, we're almost caught up from where we were. when NAG Pathologies was in charge. The question is, moving forward, do we bring somebody in-house or do we keep on, I hate to put it this way, but farming it out to Tarrant County?
Right. So what are we doing? Are we going to just let this guy go, or do we keep him and hire somebody else?
Well, what would you like to do?
You can't do nothing right now. Because then what's the expense that we're creating for and you think the current pathologist is going to be happy that you're going to hire somebody who's going to be his boss, or so how does that work? Do you create animosity in that? I think he's doing a good job, and it's costing us money to ship people. And it doesn't matter to most of us until your loved one gets killed through crime and they have to commit send them to an autopsy, and then, you're mourning and the body's somewhere else, So I think about that, and I'd like to offer a solution, but what can we do? So maybe he needs to be involved in what would be appropriate, because he's not doing them and he's not going to do them. So, do you fire him and hire somebody else? That would be just wrong. So again, you just have to follow this through, and then the next person clearly has to do everything. But then you plan for it, because it's going to be more of an expense to the county, to us, to the voters. But we need that, You
got a website?
I do not have just a contact at emgarza.us.
All right. Thanks for stopping by. Early voting begins tomorrow in the primaries here in Texas. Major Garza, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you so much. Vote for me. Bye-bye.
All right. Chad Hasty Show, KFYO.